our package this afternoon. Zero male suicide. Impactful responsive living page as global community marks 2023 Father's Day. How much do you know about heart attack, causes and remedies? Police Service Commission moves to balance interests in deployment of officers to address perceived marginalization. Details of this and more shortly. Good afternoon, thanks for joining us this afternoon. I am Mwanoko Apan. Father bears have been admonished to Fathers have been admonished to be responsive and ready to be used by God as instruments of divine blessings. The admonition was given by Mr. Fonime Morris during a Thanksgiving service held to mark the 2023 Father's Day celebration. The event took place at the Presbyterian Church of Nigeria, right by extension, Afaritam, Itulugu government area. Esther Morin complete the report.
Mr. Morris, who is the president of Main Christian Association, right by extension chapter, urged fathers to be humble like Gideon in order to be prepared and used by God for divine encounters. This, he said, would help them fulfill their roles as responsible fathers for a better society.
We will talk about the instrument of divine intervention by all manifestation, and I will help to someone. When we talk about father, it's not really your child, and yet we will know. But the first thing around you is what your children.
The Thanksgiving service featured praise and worship session, choral renditions, solo by some children, prayer for the men and fathers. Earlier, a representation of the Main Christian Association of the church turned up to perform a cleaning exercise at the AKBC transmitting station in Ntagiyang, a gesture which was greatly appreciated by the management of AKBC.
The management and staff are delighted to have you here for the ritual that I just has surrounded the event.
Some of the men and fathers had this to say.
This week's program is a reminder, a serious reminder to men that they have a role to play in the home, in the church, in the society, including their workplaces.
They remind us that we should not be too far from God, because as a whole, you are not close to God, you cannot live your family well.
You know, as you come, for them. Now, as you know,
Esther Morin, AKBC News.
Yesterday was International Men's Day, popularly referred to as Father's Day. The day brings to the fore awareness on men's physical and mental health, as well as recognize the contributions of fathers to families and communities. Akanye Lopong in this report x-rays the theme of the celebration, zero male suicide, as well as expectations of family members and society on fathers.
Theme of Father's Day celebration is zero male suicide, which seeks ways to help avoid mental issues and prevalence of suicide among men. Some of the respondents enumerated likely causes of suicide in men, most of them attributed to excess burden of family responsibilities on the fathers.
I cannot see any justification for suicide. Any man or woman who commits suicide is a coward, because the death does not even take you away from the challenge that you think you have. I think people must look beyond taking their life, because in the first place you didn't create yourself.
The Holy Bible, which we profess, condemns suicide. So I would advise fathers who are burdened not to consider suicide as an option out of any challenge, but rather to consider stepping up and trying to do something for yourself, to tend for your children.
The history of International Father's Day goes back as far as 1960, but was reviewed in 1999 with the aim of imprinting a positive male image and bring to limelight issues that fathers face. Some male respondents spoke on their role as men and fathers.
I enjoy being a father because I enjoy my home. I enjoy my children, my wife, and my family.
I feel so great being a father. You know, my own thing is actually somehow special, something that I've wanted for a very long period of time. But after like 6 years, God did it. Being a father is all that a man should pray for.
A father is a father to a woman under her because he's the head of the family. He should be able to take on responsibilities entrusted him by God and follows it to the letter. He handles the responsibilities in a way that as the children grow up, they emulate his example.
Measurable responsibility to be a father in the first place, especially a man so blessed to have both sexes of God-fearing children. Not just a father, but a husband that marries an ideal wife.
The women, wives and children also have roles to play to give fathers and husbands an ease in life and contribute to a remarkable celebration. Women in some churches during their day involve fathers and husbands in activities to give them a sense of belonging, like telling them to tie headgears, name recipes for special meals, putting babies on their backs like mothers do, among other activities. To make the celebration tick, family members can also do a handwritten love letter to fathers, prepare homemade delicacies, or plan surprise dinner outings for them. Others include an all-boys date for fathers and their friends, among others. But women also have great expectation of fathers and husbands. Some women bear their minds.
I'm happy especially when my husband makes time for my children, especially to help them out with homework or to prepare them for school. My husband has a habit of praying for our daughter before every term resumes. He helps out with the kitchen chores sometimes when I'm in the kitchen. All of those things are the little things that he does that actually endears me to him.
I would like our fathers to give us a traditional dance. I also want them to play some card games like the children. I want them to make the children excited.
You know, it's exciting when you see your husband change diapers. A new father change diapers. Seeing them cuddling the babies, big of joy to see husbands or fathers do dishes.
Children are not left out as they spoke glowingly of fathers and wish them a happy celebration.
I want to say a big thank you to my dad for being a father to me. I want to wish all the fathers in the world happy Father's Day. I want to say thank you to my father.
It has been discovered that fathers sometimes get too busy, yet they take care of themselves. For their mental health, grown-up children should plan help for their fathers, do regular health checks on them for better living and longevity. The Jehovah Shalom a cappella group sums it up this way. AKBC News.
In the spirit of the 2023 Father's Day celebration, the AKBC TV chapel of the Nigeria Union of Journalists has identified with the President General of AKBC State Traditional Rulers Council, Ntinyin Solomon Etok, The visit to the monarch was the chapel's initiative at celebrating the role of fathers in our society. Margaret Bassey has the report.
It is not every day that drums are rolled out by children to celebrate the care, love and affection they have enjoyed from their parents from birth to adulthood. But on occasions such as Father's Day, children are afforded the opportunity to reciprocate the gesture to their biological, spiritual or traditional fathers. To Akwa Ibom people, elders are revered as they play the role of fathers to the community as Etebom and Nsobom to all. Ntengen Solomon Daniel, elected by virtue of his position as the Oki Ibom Ibibio, is the traditional father of all the Ibibios, and as the President General Akwa Ibom State Traditional Rulers Council, the father of Akwa Ibom State. It was therefore not out of place for the executive members of AKBC TV Chapel of the Nigeria Union of Journalists, led by Comrade Udo Aikong, to visit the palace of the Oki Ibom Ibibio to mark the 2023 International Father's Day.
We realize that Father's Day is this same period, and who else would we consider as our father than our esteemed father, who has made us very proud. We are here to celebrate you, our father, and by extension all the other royal fathers. Wish you a very happy Father's Day.
Speaking, Comrade Aikong intimated the Ibibio Patriarch on the lineup of activities to mark the 35th anniversary of the foremost chapel of the Akwa Ibom State NUJ in August this year, lauded his contribution to issues of public interest and solicited his counsel for the success of the union.
There's hardly a time things come up, issues. You're almost the first person to talk about those issues. And we are happy that we have you in Akwa Ibom as a voice that is respected and is revered, who will always speak at the right time and get things to happen.
The elected Ntengen, who referred to his guests as his adopted children, extended the magnanimity to other members of the chapel.
So I'm not adopted AKBC. So feel free, even if I'm not home, I can see that all that you have adopted home, best for our health. So I truly appreciate this.
The royal father, who commended the station for operating in line with the ethics of the profession, expressed the hope that the present administration will facilitate the station for wider reach and appeal to its management to step up their game.
Radio me, I tuned to AKBC. Always I patronize AKBC. Yes, that's where I belong. That's the grassroots. I have to promote my interest, because that radio is a tabu. They tell us more than according to the ethics of that profession. The guys inculcated that spirit of promoting all that is good. So I believe very strongly that the new administration would the system before. So that can go beyond Akwa Ibom State.
The delegation was later treated to a sumptuous delicacy in the spirit of the celebration. Margaret Bassey, AKBC News.
Are there times you feel like your heart is heavier than normal amid profuse sweat and the urge to vomit? This could have been possible signs of heart attack. Paul, in finding out how much people know about heart attack in this report, engaged a consultant cardiologist in the University of Uyo Teaching Hospital on its causes and remedies.
It has become a common sight of young, old, and people of both gender holding their chest, complaining of severe pains. Sometimes these people survive if they get proper medical care at the right time, and in other cases they die. Most often than not, People attribute this sudden incident to spiritual attack, presumably that the person has offended the gods or eaten a forbidden food. Well, according to a consultant cardiologist in the University of Uyo Teaching Hospital, Dr. Idamasirumo, their views and beliefs may be fetish, but the observations and their symptoms are clearly that of a heart attack that can lead to a cardiac arrest or other severe damages in the heart. Heart attack happens when there is a blockage of blood flow in the heart muscle. It is termed a medical emergency because without blood, tissues loses oxygen and die.
So heart attack is when there is a blockage of the artery that supplies the heart. And this blockage could be partial or complete. And it could lead to a cardiac arrest, can lead to destruction of the heart muscles, and many times the patient dies. So it's a very common condition affecting our people.
The cardiologist mentioned symptoms of heart attack to include tightness of pain in the chest, neck, back, arm, fatigue, abnormal heartbeat, and anxiety, and also talked about the causes.
How do you know if you're having a heart attack? A lot of people experience chest pain. After a few minutes, the person died. So a lot of people, that's a common sign. Some people, the pain can be in the abdomen, in the upper part of the abdomen. And the common things that can cause heart attacks are raised blood pressure, so hypertension. Many people are going about with very high blood pressure and they don't know that their blood pressure is high. High blood cholesterol, many people do not check if their cholesterol levels are high. Also diabetes, so if your blood sugar is high, predisposes you to have a blockage in your artery.
Studies reveal that women are likely to get typical symptoms than men in heart attack. So, what should be done when someone has a heart attack?
If you think you have a heart attack, you should get to the hospital as soon as possible. You need to see a doctor so that you can be examined and more complications can be prevented. So the sooner you can get to the hospital, the better for you.
We sought to find out how much people know about this killer disease. Here are their views.
From my experience, actually, yes. And now, I experienced because a daughter of me. Yeah, attack. Although, so you could have been a heart attack. This long.
Heart attack is a condition of the heart. The problem that we have that make us depression.
Heart attack is a sudden stage where the heart ceases to function. Some of us who have read where there is no doctor, I think the first thing that is recommended is aspirin.
Well, I really, because I've never experienced it. I don't have anybody around me that has ever been in that condition. It's a very well. Maybe I look at him there, I look at him there, I wouldn't bend in the room. I wouldn't see the heart attack.
Although the cardiologist mentioned that the best remedy for heart attack is to rush the patient to the hospital, medical science also recommends that there should be a knowledge of CPR.
90 degrees, straight, absolutely. And then you start compression in the middle. Depress good 5 centimeters. Unless you depress it from 5 centimeters, your heart will not get compressed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, 0. 30 compression. After this, seal your lips on the lips of the patient. Deep breath. And quickly again feel the lower end of the sternum. Put your hand in the lower and compress. 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 28, 29, 30.
When you notice someone experiencing a heart attack, call out for help immediately. Assess the victim for a response and look for breathing. If you do not feel a pulse within 10 seconds, perform 5 cycles of CPR.
Well, like they say, to be forewarned is to be forearmed. It is better to avoid things that may lead to heart attack because you may never live to tell the story of what happened. And if it happens, meet a doctor immediately.
So many people have survived, but it just depends on the degree. A lot of people are dying in their
Prioritize your health, for health is wealth. AKBC News.
Convention, aesthetics or durability. What to look out for in choice of floor tiles. This and more when we return. Welcome back. Redeemed Women, encouraging women to greater height was the focus of the 2023 Good Women Convention of the Redeemed Christian Church of God, Akwa Ibom Province 1, held at the provincial headquarters, Dominion Maker Parish, 21, Redemption Way, Uyo. The spiritual meet brought women from all walks of life and featured live impacting sessions. Miriam Epoto has the detail.
In her welcome address, Pastor Fiam Onwidioke expressed gratitude to God for the enablement to organize the 2023 Akwa Ibom Province 1 Good Women Convention. She acknowledged that innumerable opportunities abound for Christian women to do exploits in contemporary times, just like in biblical times. Speaking on Women of Unlimited Exploits, Pastor Roslyn Idris Umar pointed out that there were various women that did exploits in the Bible and encouraged women to emulate such virtuous women like Esther, Priscilla, and Deborah. The pastor in charge, Akwa Ibom Province 1, Pastor Fidelis Onwidioke, in his message had this to say.
Salvation which is not true, which is not believed. I have put certain things down with some of these examples. But one of the things, listen to the Bible, one of the things that really shows that
the event also featured choir renditions from different choir groups and provided an opportunity for women to network and connect with each other to share their success stories and challenges and offered support and encouragement to one another.
And exercises at least to help us on our daily basis, like the old women, the young women, with a glorious outing for the women. With all possibilities, we thank God that we have now gone to the level of becoming women of unlimited exploits. The people in my world, what we've done. We are my young team. Praise the Lord. Doing exploit for my God to the glory of God. So it was a new convention. We started on Friday. In the exercise of yesterday, that they teach us yesterday. And I did it yesterday and I saw improvements in my body. That women of unlimited exploit. That's really affected my life. I tell you, I've been taught a lot.
3-day event featured workshops, seminars, plenary sessions where speakers discuss on various topics like financial prosperity, health management, entrepreneurship, career development, and spiritual growth. Miriam Ekbutu, AKBC News.
Amidst considerations of durability and alignment with contemporary architectural designs, floor tiling is considered to play an important role in giving a building a sense of appeal. Notwithstanding the convention in settling for tiles in flooring options, there are hazards associated with wrong choices. Juliet Richard in this report reflect on measures to consider to promote safety and comfort in tiling.
Tiling is a preferred flooring choice for most homes for its clean and elegant appeal, as well as durability and ease of maintenance. It ranges from traditional cement tiles, Foxwood, to 3D designer Towerzone, and recently the ceramic design option available to suit creative minds. Tiles play an important role in the interior design of one's home by enhancing the look of the living space. It's not without several health hazards due to ignorance of factors to be considered in its placement. When choosing tiles for the house, it is important to choose tiles based on the demands of the house area, bearing in mind its thermochemical and mechanical characteristics. Ceramic tiles are resistant to impact, force, stain, and water absorption. Worthy of note is that there are areas in the house that demand special tiling structure and types to avoid domestic accidents and casualties that can even lead to death. Places such as the kitchen, bathroom, and other water spill-prone related areas need special tiles and care. According to tile dealers, highly recommended for such places are non-porous and slip-resistant tiles and are perfect to provide functionality required.
The people who have cases of sleeping in the bathroom, and sometimes they get injured, so I would advise people to go for the tiles that is kind of not slippery. These are the kind of tiles, this is beer tiles and it is ceramic tiles. It comes with its stone on it, so this stone prevents you from falling. This is another type. It is also being ironic. So these are types of tiles that you need to place on the floor of the toilet so that you don't get cases of slipping or falling.
However, some ceramic tiles appear glazed and with shiny surfaces and may become extremely slippery when wet. It is advisable, according to experts, to adhere diligently to the following guidelines. In areas where water spills are likely, such as the kitchen and bathroom, consider placing rocks or non-slip mats in high-traffic areas, such as near the sink or bathtub, for avoidance of slip hazard. Allow to dry after cleaning before working on them to help prevent a fall. Make it moisture-free. Clean up loose debris and be on the look for stains, soap residue, and ensure its dryness at all times. When phone rings, never be in a haste to pick up, no matter how important the call is. Seek Tiler's help on the choice of tiles for your bathroom. If what you have is a smooth type, change it as soon as possible. Get bathroom slippers, which are designed in such a way that grips the floor. Avoid raising one leg in the attempt of washing and scrubbing it. This particular act has sent many to early grave. Place towel at the entrance of your bathroom and ensure your feet is dry before moving out to any part of the house. Never let a kid below 7 years or an elderly person in the bathroom alone. Wash your face separately and have your eyes opened at all times. Avoid singing and dancing in the bathroom, no matter how excited you might be. Many are guilty of this. If you must sing, don't be carried away. Juliet Richard, AKBC News.
The Police Service Commission, PSC, at the 21st plenary meeting has approved new policy guidelines for the deployment of management and tactical commanders in the Nigerian police force. The head press and public relations, Ikochukwu Ani, in a statement, has urged the Nigerian police force to be guided by the principle of federal character in both recruitment at all levels and deployment of its personnel at management and tactical levels to ensure balance, equity and fairness in the system. PAC observed that the current deployment of commanders of police to state commands lays much to be desired in reflecting the principle of equity and fairness to all geopolitical zones of the country, stressing that the current statistics of such deployment were against the northeast and southeast geopolitical zones. The Commission observed the disproportional distribution and lopsided deployment of command commissioners and noted that it has been extremely important that a fair representation of all geopolitical zones is always reflected in this deployment to eschew and address the feeling of marginalization and injustice against certain zones of the country in the force. PAC requested henceforth that the deployment of commissioners of police to state commands must be ensured that the disadvantaged zones are considered first in the proposal to the Commission. That was the news, but before we go, a recap of the top stories. As a global convention shifts in favor of creating a safe space for men, especially those who play a fatherly role, Clergies, the traditional institution and respondent in commemorating the 2023 International Father's Day, have united in the call for responsive living and the need to show support and understanding for fathers to reduce the rate of suicide among men. We also told you that indigents of Southeast and Northeast geopolitical zone have hitherto grown under the weight of perceived marginalization, as officers of the Nigerian police force can now have a sigh of relief following the issuance of a new policy guidelines for the deployment of management and tactical commanders in the Nigerian police force. That was the news. Thanks for watching. I am Nwanuko Apan.